Good morning to all. So, in physical education, I'm going to take your biology part. So, the first chapter here is the human anatomy and physiology. So, what do you understand by anatomy? So, anatomy is the study of internal structure of something, and physiology means the branch of biology that deals with normal functioning of living organisms and their parts. Means the way in which living organisms or the other body parts in it functions. So in this chapter we are going to focus on skeletal system. So skeletal system is what? It is a combination of various bones, cartilages, tendons and ligaments. So an adult human being have 206 bones, but a newborn baby has approximately 300 bones. So what happens to the rest of the bones? How it reduced from 300 to 206? After the age of adolescence, some of the bones unite with each other completely and form 206. The bone is very rigid and hard so that it gives the body a framework. It maintains its shape and protect the delicate organs. So if I ask some more functions of bones, then it provides a place for muscles and other supporting structure to attach. And they also form a system of levers upon which muscles can act to produce body movements. So some of the parts of our body we can move very easily because the attachments are made in such a manner between the bones and the muscles or between bones so that we can move from one place to another easily or can move our different parts of the body. So the largest bone in our body is femur, that is in the upper leg, and the smallest is the stapes, that is present in middle ear. So approximately 14% of the total body weight is comprises of our skeleton, and half of this weight is water. Now let's read about various types of bones. So first one is neck, cranium and vertebra. So in this picture you can see the cranial bone, that is the part of the top portion of the skull which protects the brain. Sometimes it is also called calvaria. So here 8 bones together make the cranium. So the 8 bones are frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal, sphenoid and ethmoid. Next is vertebra or vertebral column, and we also call it spinal cord. So there are 33 vertebrae in human vertebral column. And between each two bones or vertebra there are pads of fibrous cartilage. So in this picture you can see that vertebra is divided into different parts. So there are 7 cervical vertebra. Next is 12 thoracic vertebra. Next 5 lumbar vertebra. And then 5 sacral vertebra which are actually fused together. And at the last there are 4 coaxial vertebra which are also fused together. So the neck related vertebra are cervical vertebra, and these vertebra are the smallest of the bones except the first and the second cervical vertebra. So these two vertebra in general are small and delicate. The first cervical, that is C1, is called atlas and the C2 is called axis. And due to these two vertebra, the neck and the head have large range of motion. Means we can move our neck or head. So the next part is shoulder. So shoulder consists two bones mainly, that is scapula and clavicle. So in the picture you can see which part is the scapula. So the scapula also called shoulder blade, and it is quite triangular as well as flat bone which provide as a site for the attachment for various muscles. So it articulates with the humerus, that is the upper bone of our hand, and the clavicle, or also called collar bone. The anterior surface of the scapula called costal. Why? Because this side faces the rib cage, and the lateral surface of this faces the humerus and the posterior surface faces outward. Next is clavicle, which is also called collarbone. So this is long curved bone that forms the interior part of the shoulder girdle. So it is usually visible in individuals under the skin who are very lean and thin. So it attaches the upper limb to the trunk and transmit forces from the upper limb to axial skeleton. Axial skeleton consists of the middle one, that is skull, spinal cords and ribs. So its internal extremity articulates with the sternum. Sternum is the flat bone, also called breastbone, that is present in the central part of the chest. And the acromial extremity articulates with the acromion process of scapula. So in this picture you can see the position of acromion. So our next part is thorax, that is ribs and sternum. So first one is ribs. So there are 12 pairs or 24 ribs, and they are flat and thin bones. They mainly provide protection to the vital organs in the upper body, that is heart and lungs. And they also give shape and support to the chest. They protect our stomach, spleen and kidneys as well, and also help in breathing process. So ribs are divided into three parts, that is true ribs, false ribs and floating ribs. So the first 7 pairs of rib bones are called true ribs. So these true ribs are attached to the spine by ligaments at the back, and in the front they are attached to the sternum. Next, the 3 pairs of ribs are called false ribs. So at the back they are attached to the spine just like the true ribs, but at the front they are not attached with the sternum. Instead of that, they are connected to the lowest 2 ribs. And the last part is floating ribs. So there are 2 pairs of floating ribs, that is the 11th and the 12th number. So they are the smallest of all the rib bones. And why they are called floating ribs? Because they are connected to the spine at the back, but they are not connected to anything at the front. Next is sternum, that is the long, flat and narrow bone, also called breastbone. So this is just located in the center of the chest, and its shape is just like a necktie. It is also connected to the ribs, and it forms the front of the rib cage. And in this manner, it helps to protect lungs, heart and major blood vessels from injury. So the sternum is one of the largest and longest flat bones of our body, and it can be subdivided into 3 regions. In this picture also you can see the first portion is manubrium. Next is the body, the longest part of the sternum, and the last one is xiphoid process. So manubrium is the upper part of the sternum. It is narrow from the top and has a quadrangular shape, and it joins with the body of the sternum, the clavicles and the cartilages of the first pair of ribs. Next is the body of the sternum, which is the longest and the flat part on the front. Its upper border you can see is oval, and it articulates with manubrium, and the lowest border is narrow and it articulates with the xiphoid process. The last portion is called xiphoid process or bone. So it is located at the inferior end of the sternum, that is in the lower portion, and it is cartilaginous in the youth but ossifies later on. So here ossifies means it turns into bone or bony tissue. So in the next class we will read the other parts of the skeletal system, that is forelimbs, spine, hip limb, hind limb, etc.